Thanks to cutting-edge technologies, astronomers keep learning new, exciting facts about space almost every day. Faraway galaxies, bizarre spinning stars, mind-boggling planets where it rains glass. How many more surprises does the universe have for us humans? So, a day on Uranus lasts 17 hours, 14 minutes, and 24 seconds. But since the planet has a tilt of around 98 degrees, a season on this gas giant lasts 21 Earth years. A star, 50 light-years away from Earth, has 90% of its mass crystallized, and its interior is made of carbon. That means the star, named Lucy, is the biggest diamond ever found. The densest objects in space are neutron stars. They are the size of a small city, yet their mass is about 1.5 times that of our Sun. A single teaspoon of neutron star material would weigh 1 billion tons, and the gravity on a neutron star is 2 billion times stronger than the gravity on our planet. Heavy. On Earth, sound travels to our ears through vibrating air molecules, but in space, the empty areas between stars and planets are, well, moleculeless. That's why the sound can't travel and we can't hear anything. Discovered in 2017, Kelt 9b is the hottest planet we know of. The temperatures there can reach 7,800 degrees Fahrenheit. That's because Kelt 9b orbits extremely close to its star, Kelt 9. It's way hotter and bigger than our Sun. Experts believe that the giant star might one day evaporate the entire planet with its intense heat. Mars has 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos. In the next 30 to 50 million years, the planet's gravitational forces will tear Phobos apart. It'll probably result in the formation of a ring around Mars. Saturn's rings weren't discovered all at once. It happened gradually, and they were named alphabetically in the order the scientists found them. They go like this: D, C, B, A, F, G, E. Pronounced Dekbafudge, I think. The Moon is the closest natural satellite to the Sun. Mercury and Venus, which are closer to the Sun than our planet, don't have satellites. At 4.6 billion years old, the Sun is a middle-aged star. It's halfway through its life and is known as a yellow dwarf. After becoming a senior and burning up all its fuel, the Sun will swell into a red giant and swallow Mercury, Venus, and Earth. Then it will shrink down and turn into a white dwarf. I won't be around then. Good thing, too. Because of the low gravity, small hard dust is all over the Moon. It makes astronauts feel symptoms similar to hay fever. The dust also gets into spacesuits, ruining them. But at sunset and sunrise, the dust sort of dances rather beautifully. Electromagnetic forces make the particles float. Astronauts only wear orange spacesuits during the launch and re-entry of the spaceship. The color stands out and makes it easier to spot people and rescue them. The white suits are equipped very differently and help astronauts survive in outer space. Speaking of which, a spacesuit costs around $12 million. It protects astronauts from scorching heat, space dust, and extreme weather conditions. The helmets even have Velcro patches to help astronauts out when their noses itch. There's a planet 63 light-years away from Earth. It's dubbed a blue marble because of its unusual bright color. Scientists believe such a hue may come from a rain of super-hot glass typical for the planet. In 1993, the Galileo probe was traveling past a miniature asteroid. It was no more than 20 miles across, and still, the tiny thing had a 1-mile-wide moon. Astronomers have discovered tons of moons orbiting minor planets in the solar system since then. Now, you always see the same side of the moon no matter where you are on Earth. That's because the moon orbits around our planet at the same speed it rotates around its own axis. In 1999, NASA lost a Mars orbiter because one engineering team was using the metric system and another was doing calculations with the help of the imperial system. The Moon is not an ideal sphere. It's shaped more like an egg because of the Earth's gravity. Decades ago, astronomers thought Mercury didn't rotate around its axis. They also believe that the same side of the planet always faced the sun. Only in 1965, scientists discovered that the planet does rotate, but at a snail's pace. One rotation takes 57 Earth days. When astronauts go to space, they can grow up to 3% taller. The lack of gravity causes their spines to expand. But it doesn't last long. When they get back to Earth and adjust to the gravity here, their bodies shrink back. The other side of the Moon is more mountainous than the one we see from Earth. That can be explained by the influence of the Earth's gravity. It makes the crust on the Moon's visible side thinner. Space Surveillance Network keeps track of how much space junk orbits Earth and who is responsible for it. There are more than 500,000 rocket parts and inactive satellites orbiting our planet at 17,500 miles per hour. You'll have to travel 11 billion miles away from Earth before reaching the boundary of the solar system. In 2011, astronomers discovered an enormous water reservoir in space. It was floating around a supermassive black hole called a quasar. Floating water vapors aren't that common in space. This particular reservoir holds around 140 trillion times the amount of water in all the Earth's oceans. It's one of the oldest and largest vapor clouds people know about. And at more than 12 billion light-years away, it's also the farthest. NASA has the Office of Planetary Protection. Its purpose is to secure the solar system objects from getting polluted by the Earth's inhabitants. The organization's other task is to protect our planet from potential danger from space. On Mars, the normally pinkish-red sunset sky turns blue as the sun goes down below the horizon. Mars is much farther away from the sun than Earth, which makes the sunlight less intense. Plus, the fine dust in the Martian atmosphere absorbs the blue light and scatters those familiar warm colors you typically see on Earth. The International Space Station is the largest human-made structure that's ever been to space. The thing weighs 925,000 pounds. It's also the size of an American football field. Earth isn't the only tectonically active planet in the solar system. Astronomers have spotted something that looks like cliffs on Mercury. If it were true, the tectonic activity could explain the rapid shrinking of the planet. The Moon is moving 1 inch away from Earth every year. It causes the Earth's rotation to slow down, just a little. Pluto's atmosphere rises way higher above the surface of the dwarf planet than, for example, the Earth's atmosphere. It also has more than 20 layers. All of them are super cold and very condensed. Small space rocks enter the Earth's atmosphere all the time. We call them meteorites. More than 61,000 stones have been found on our planet. Astronomers are 100% sure that at least 224 of them have arrived from Mars. In 2011, scientists discovered a small Martian rock that's a few billion years old. We live inside the Sun. Yep, the star's atmosphere stretches way beyond its visible surface. Our planet is also within its reach. That's how gusts of solar winds create such a breathtaking phenomenon as the northern and southern lights. More than 400 trees that grow on Earth today arrive from space. In 1971, the Apollo 14 mission took the seeds to the Moon's orbit and then brought them back to Earth. Almost all the planets in our solar system have moons orbiting them, yet 2 planets don't have any. That's Venus and Mercury. And the only 2 dwarf planets without natural satellites are Ceres and Makemake. Our solar system isn't the only one in the Milky Way galaxy. The galaxy we live in houses about 100 billion solar systems. The Moon does have a kind of atmosphere. It's called an exosphere. It consists of helium, neon, and argon. It's 10 trillion times less dense than the Earth's atmosphere. The distance between the Sun and Earth is known as an astronomical unit. It equals 93 million miles. There are moonquakes on the Moon. They're caused by the Earth's gravity, and their epicenter is several miles lower than the Moon's surface. Venus is about 30 million miles further from the Sun than Mercury, but it's way hotter. Its incredible thick atmosphere is 100 times denser than the Earth's. It consists almost entirely of carbon dioxide, also known as the greenhouse gas. These two factors make the temperatures on the planet rise up to 875 degrees, hot enough to melt lead. And the Moon's gravitational pull causes high and low tides on Earth. The highest tide can be seen at full or new moon.